Well, hello everyone and welcome inside the press box. Vista del Lago, Dateline, Moreno Valley. I'm Cullen, Holt. That's Tim Hatch. Got a good one going between the Vista del Lago Ravens and the Hemet Bulldogs here on the Inland Sports Internet Radio.
First chance to see this field at Vista del Lago. What a beautiful field. First game played on it. Looks brand new. I'm afraid to take a step on it. It felt so soft out there. I was actually going to take a nap before the game. I was going to lay down out there for a while, but I don't want to get trampled.
Yeah, there's not going to be a whole lot of naps going on tonight. Hemet will kick it away there in the white uniforms with the red caps for Vista del Lago, the all-black, as they will go left to right across your radio dial here on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. Hemet defending CIF Southern Section semifinalists.
And they want to build on some of that success that they achieved as a program. Coach Gregovich said that they had a lot of fans, a lot of upswelling in the excitement and team spirit.
As this one is kicked away, received at about the 25-yard line. Vista del Lago will go to work as the kickoff return comes up near the 40. And Vista del Lago's offense, led by Julia Medina, will take over.
On the other side of things, Coach Michael Tuohy, in his second year here at Vista del Lago, said they've had a good changing culture, a good offseason in the weight room, a good offseason in team building, and they're expecting big things. Both teams expecting to be on the uptick this year.
So Vista del Lago will have the ball in the far hash. Medina in the shotgun, running back to his left. Two receivers split out to each side as they spread things out, which is common nowadays in the high school football game. Medina will pass on first down. Little floater that's over the head of everybody. He was looking to get it out to his receiver on the near side. Incomplete. And Vista del Lago will have 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass.
You got to think for Medina that the juices are flowing a little bit. First home game, excitement there. As soon as he gets his breath, calms down, that pass is going to be there.
So again, the ball on the far hash. Hemet with a 3-4 look. They love their linebackers. Got a couple of studs in the middle of the defense. Medina, quick screen, near side. Hector Gonzalez, it's off his hands. They'll say that's a forward pass, and so it's simply incomplete yet again, and it's 3rd and long.
And I think that was a classic time where Gonzalez started to run before he caught it. Again, the excitement, the enthusiasm, the crowd, the band sounding good, and just got to get those nerves out of the way, get that first little wave of butterflies gone.
So 3rd and 10, looking to get rid of the butterflies here on a big 3rd down. Vista del Lago trying to keep their opening drive alive here in their home opener in the 2019 season. Medina kicks the leg, hard count, gets Hemet to jump, and it's a free 5 yards for the Raven offense, as it will now be just 3rd and 5.
And looking at Hemet ended up going 8-6 last year. First trip to CIF semifinals in quite a while. Coach Gregovich feels that their defense is ahead of where they were last year at this time.
Set it up at the Vista del Lago 43. Again, Medina kicks the leg, motions a man across. Will take the shotgun snap and give it. Stephon Goss-Jenkins is gobbled up in the backfield and driven back. That'll send the punt unit on for VDL as the Hemet Bulldogs come up with a big 3rd down stop.
We're going to talk about Vista Lago's defense as flocking to the ball as Ravens, but the Bulldogs attacked that ball carrier like he had a bone.
Yeah, it seems only fitting to use the appropriate descriptors when talking about these defenses, but here's a punt formation for Vista del Lago. The punter stationed back at his own 25. Low snap, little trouble with it. Just gets it off, and it is tipped in the air. Fielded off the redirect by Chase Stenzel. He makes it down to the 26, and Hemet will take over on a blocked punt here in the first quarter. How about that for a start? Just 11:31 to play in the first.
And again, I can see Coach Tuohy frustrated right now, a little angry. Again, the jitters, the snap got there, just moving a little slow. Hemet attacking and getting a hand on it, just enough for it to deflect off for the return. Great field position for the Bulldogs.
So 1st and 10, they'll set up at the 29-yard line of Vista del Lago. On the far hash, we'll get a chance to see Jeremiah Graves. This is his first season leading the offense from the quarterback position, was a slot receiver last season, as he and the Bulldogs go to work on offense now. So 1st and 10, shotgun look for Hemet. They're going to give the ball off on the option as they hand it to Maximus Moore, trying to cut the corner on the far side, and he is chopped down for a loss of 2.
Hemet's offensive line has some good size there, some beef guys out there. It's a good size of receiver, too.
Yeah, for instance, Damian Rodriguez along the near side. Above 6 foot, they're going to throw that way. It's a tall pass. He goes up and gets it, catches it on the slant. First down near the 10-yard line for Hemet. And now a couple of whistles as they move the chains up. 1st and 10. Put the ball at the 13-yard line of Vista Del Lago, and after a loss of 2, Graves comes right back and delivers a dart to Rodriguez coming across the middle of the field.
Rodriguez is a big receiver. They don't really have a size listed for him, but he's standing next to a tight end listed at 6'4". I could put him about 6'6".
So again, Graves, this time with Moore set up to his left. Ball in the middle of the field, 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. It's going to be a QB keeper. The called sneak, he calls his own number, goes up to the 10-yard line, a pickup of 3 on 1st down, and it's 2nd and 7 for the Bulldogs.
So after Vista Lago had the ball for all of 30 seconds, Hemet looking to capitalize on that last block punt, build some confidence going on the first drive.
10:15 to play here in the first quarter. Graves from the shotgun. Looks to his right, lobs one up. It's a fade to the corner of the end zone. Going up to get it and making the catch on the far side is Ethan Leonard. And just like that, it's 6-0 Bulldogs.
Hemet's receivers are impressive in their size. You got Leonard listed at 6'3". You have Gonzalez listed at, he's not really listed, but standing next to that tight end that he was by, listed at 6'3", he's 6'5". So 6'3", 6'3", 6'5" on the outside. And they took advantage of it on the fade.
So Isaiah Aguilar on to attempt the extra point. Hemet last season only went for 2 5 times out of their 44 touchdowns. So with 10 minutes to play in the first quarter, Hemet looking to make it 7-0. Aguilar from the middle of the field. They go hard count. Vista Del Lago comes flying across. Untouched on the offsides. And move the ball halfway to the goal line. Now Hemet's going to bring that offense back in there and go for 2 here. We mentioned they didn't go for 2 all that often last season, but they're going to get an opportunity now just a yard away.
Well, with the size they have out there, those linemen, some tight splits. You're going to go for 2 for sure. A 6'3" quarterback at the same time, throwing to 6'3", 6'3", 6'5" wide receivers.
Jose Rodriguez is the feature back. He will lead block for the quarterback, Graves, who is in for the touchdown. It is 8-0 Hemet, the touchdown, the 2-point conversion. And now Vista Del Lago has got to answer with a much better offensive drive than what we saw last time.
A chance to get the butterflies out, take a deep breath. Let's go. Let's get back to what we do. Offensively for Hemet, they were looking to get these young guys some reps. And that was a pretty workmanlike drive there, even though it was a short field, 1.5-minute drive, accomplishing what they wanted to do.
Well, it all started with that blocked punt as Hemet got a piece of Vista Del Lago's first punt attempt. It was Chase Stenzel who came up with the ball for the Bulldogs. This kick is muffed. It's a little pooch kick. Bringing it back out near the 35-yard line is Vista Del Lago, and so the Raven offense will go back to work, looking for a better result than last time.
Chase Stenzel laid a big hit on the returner on that play, too. We've said his name quite a bit in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, definitely a special teams standout. We'll look for him on the traditional sides of the ball as well. But Julian Medina, the junior quarterback for Vista Del Lago, back out there with the team in black. He's got 3 receivers in a bunch formation out to his right. The ball on the far hash. Medina takes the snap, will hand it up the middle. Nothing doing as Hemet clogs up. A quick run for Stephon Goss-Jenkins. It's a pickup of 1.
That inside interior line on both sides for Hemet is just big, beefy, corn-fed, milk-drinking guys. Just healthy-looking fellas. Pretty impressive size.
Lots of success can be built behind a line like that on both sides of the ball. And so far, there hasn't been much of a run game for Vista Del Lago. Three-man front for Hemet again. Medina looking to pass, feels the pressure, slings one out to his left, and it is almost intercepted by two-way player Jose Rodriguez, and it's 3rd and 11.
So we're looking at a pretty heavy rush. Hemet's front three, plus I saw the last one, middle linebacker blitz too, putting a lot of pressure on Medina. They're going to have to do something to get the pressure off, maybe a quick bubble screen or even just a traditional old screen play. Just to slow down the drive.
3rd and 9 from the 36-yard line for Vista Del Lago. Again, they go bunch formation to the near side. 3 receivers all grouped over there. Here comes the blitz from the near side. It's a quick pass over the middle. Hector Gonzalez makes the catch as he falls to his knees. It's a pickup of about 5, though. And it'll be 4th and short. See what Vista Del Lago decides to do. Last time they sent the punt team out there. Not the greatest of results. It will be 4th and 4 from the 41-yard line. And here comes special teams for Vista Del Lago yet again.
I got to think if they might have picked up 2 or 3 more yards, made it, 4th and 1, 4th and 1.5, they'd have went for it. Little hesitation on that, but punt team comes out. You don't want to dig too deep a hole.
So again, the punt team on 4th and 4, much better snap. The kick gets away, and it's a good one. Fair caught at the 25 by Ethan Leonard, who had that touchdown catch early on for Hemet. And the Bulldogs offense, who was almost clinical in their first drive, will now have a bit longer distance to go.
So again, we're looking at a short drive. If you're Vista Lago, you want to get a little more time out there with your offense. But right now, Hemet's attacking them, pinning back their ears, and Vista Lago a little bit on their heels right now.
So Hemet ready to go. Jeremiah Graves really does have a really good handle on the offense. If he's not throwing, he's either running it or throwing some sort of a block for whoever he gives the ball to.
And they list him at 6'2", 195. Pretty good size for a quarterback.
Graves gets the snap. He's going to throw, lobs one up near sideline. It is bobbled and caught inbounds. Frankie Castillo makes the circus catch along the near sideline, and Hemet is on the move. That's a pickup of almost 30 yards as they go to the 45-yard line of Vista Del Lago.
And I don't know if you saw on that one, he took a hit. Graves really took a big hit as he let it go. He stood in there pretty well and let the ball go. And I want to say number 4 did a nice job catching it all 3 times as he ran down the field.
Yeah, 3 catches on one play has got to be some sort of record. Here comes Graves and the Hemet offense from the near hash at the 45-yard line. They motion a man across. They're going to flip it to him. Again, it's Castillo. He tries to turn the corner. All kinds of black jerseys out there, but he finds a seam, cuts it back near the first down marker, spins his way down across the 35-yard line. Good enough for a first down for Hemet. And again, the Bulldogs are on the move.
And one of the things Coach Tui talked about was the speed of the defense of Vista Del Lago and the pursuit. Sometimes that works against you as you pursue. Over pursuit on a cutback, which happened there with Castillo. He made a nice move. But it looks like it's coming back.
So Laundry on the field. They'll move the ball back. It looks like a spot foul. So it's just a 3-yard net loss, which means it'll be 1st and 13 for Hemet, negating what was a pretty good run by Frankie Castillo, making something out of essentially nothing. Again, ball on the far hash. Shotgun look. Rodriguez to the left of Graves. Passes out on the screen to the far sideline. It's caught. Quick pickup of 6 or 7 for Ethan Leonard. Gets down to the 41 for Vista Del Lago. And Hemet wants to move quickly as they set up.
Well executed play. He didn't get touched till he was 4 yards off the line. Quick release. Good timing. Looking like midseason form right now.
2nd and 6 for Hemet, trying to bounce back after a tough loss to a decent Chaparral team. 28-7 the final at home for Hemet. Graves will roll out, find a man in the flat all by himself. That one is caught by Elijah Wright before he is forced out of bounds. A yard shy of the first down marker. Brings up 3rd and short for Hemet.
One of the things Coach Gregovich talked about was is offensively they're very young, and that's something as a route runner he would, as he gets more experience, he'll run to that first down line or first down spot and not end up a yard short.
So Graves will have Maximus Moore standing to his right as the ball switches to the near hash. 3 receivers split out wide to the right. They're going to give it to Moore. He's met immediately, shakes off 1 tackle, but cannot escape the rest of them as he's brought down for a loss of what they'll say is 2 yards, bringing up 4th and short here for Hemet as the drive begins to stall, and Vista Del Lago's defense seems to be waking up a bit.
Coach said that is one of the hallmarks they have is that speed and quickness, and they attacked that time. They did flock to the ball like Ravens.
So 4th and 3, the offense sets up from the near hash again. Same formation. Graves looking to the sideline to get the signals. And now time is called from the Hemet sideline as they want to talk this thing over. Well, tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Visit their new location off the 91 freeway at Arlington. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled.
As we look out onto that field, I see a couple veteran referees. We have Ralph Wiley as the line judge. We have Corky Cloud as the back judge. A couple of names in Riverside County and then Empire sports history. Corky Cloud, head golf coach at Beaumont High School. Taught me a thing or two out on the course. Off the tee box. The guy's deadly. He's an assassin, a ninja.
Not too bad as a referee either, I hear.
Not at all. Not at all.
So here's 4th and 3. They'll set up at the 38-yard line of Vista Del Lago. From the near hash. 3 receivers again to the wide side of the field. Graves looks to his right. They go screen. Find Leonard. He escapes 1 tackle. He is gobbled up around the 40. And Vista Del Lago comes up with a big stop with 6:31 on the clock here in the first quarter.
Great job by the defense that time. The cornerback stepped up and blew the play up initially, forcing Leonard to come inside. So great read, great timeout, a great play out of the timeout from Vista Del Lago.
Trailing 8-0, the Ravens go back to work here. Shotgun set for Julian Medina. Look to the sideline to get the play call. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line on the turnover on downs. Medina is ready. He will pass on 1st down, lobs one in the direction of Hector Gonzalez, and it is almost picked off. Sergio Mendeville was in the area for Hemet, but it's just an incomplete pass as it bounces off the shoulder pads of Mendeville.
That was a great read by the cornerback there. He wasn't fooled at all. Unfortunately, Medina had to throw that off his back foot. The pressure was getting to him. He's under fire a lot today so far.
Again, we touch on the size of that Hemet defensive line. And Vista Del Lago still trying to feel their way into this game. 2nd and 10. After the incomplete pass, again they show blitz from that near side. Untouched, in comes Jonah Ventura, and he will make the tackle after a gain of maybe a yard. Well, Vista Del Lago spreads everyone out, and when they blitz an outside linebacker off that near side, there's no one to block him. It seems to me that the Ravens should be running some sort of play that takes advantage of the gap that outside linebacker leaves when he blitzes.
Yeah, absolutely. Thing is, though, Hemet's mixing it up from different sides. They sent the whole house that time.
Toss
Great
over
play.
the middle,
There you go.
and it is caught by Hector Gonzalez, and that is exactly what we just talked about, Tim. They see the linebacker blitz, they throw it to where he left, where he vacated. And so it's 1st and 10 now into Hemet territory. They mark the ball at the 48-yard line, and now Vista Del Lago is on the move, down 8 with 5:50 to go in the first quarter.
That was a great read. Hemet brought everybody, which left a gap in the seam. Receiver read the seam, quarterback threw it, great delivery. Maybe they're getting their confidence into it. A little butterfly's gone and ready to roll.
So 1st and 10, they look at the wristbands, Vista Del Lago does. From the middle of the field, Medina has a running back to his right. 2 receivers to each side in a balanced look. They use the running back to pick up the blitz that time. Pass goes out to the far side. It is caught up the far sideline. Pickup of about 7 on 1st down and a good chunk of yardage to bring up 2nd and manageable.
It looks like Medina's fallen into a better rhythm now, but the quick release plays, the shorter routes are what are making them successful right now, not allowing that penetration to get to him.
So Micah Hayes makes the catch. They say that one is a pickup of 6 yards, so 2nd and 4. From the 42-yard line, Medina again looks at the wristband to get the play. Vista Del Lago coming off a win against Tackwitz. And now a whistle as they call encroachment on the Bulldog defense. Should be a first down for Vista Del Lago as they continue to keep the chains moving here in the first quarter.
One of the things that Medina seems to be more comfortable with right now is Hemet's mixing it up. The blitz the middle linebacker, the blitz the outside linebacker. Medina's doing a really nice job of seeing the spots they're coming from. He's doing a good job. A better job.
Well, if you're Coach Tui, you got to be happy with the response. You go down early, you have the blocked punt, and then the defense responds, gets a big stop on 4th down. Now the offense is starting to find a rhythm as well. Here's 1st and 10. That pass over the head of Hector Gonzalez. They're lucky that one wasn't intercepted either, but it will be 2nd and 10.
That time they brought a slew of players, a bunch of Bulldogs, a plethora from the left side, veritable plethora. But unfortunately for Medina, he's got to take another breath and let things develop a little bit. He kind of rushed that pass. It was the right place, right spot. Just got to take a breath and get ready to take a hit.
Well, you'll notice that from Jeremiah Graves on the other side of the ball, who is also a junior, just a tad more poised when it comes to getting ready to take a hit. And there's a big difference. Hemet's defensive line just has a bit of a size advantage on Vista Del Lago's defensive line, so it's easier for Graves to stand in there than it is for Medina. This one handoff up the middle, pickup of about 4, brings up 3rd and 6.
And that was the best running play to date right now for Vista Del Lago. Trying to soften up the middle a little bit.
So Medina is set. He gets the play from the near sideline. 4.5 to go in the first quarter. Hemet leading by 8. Medina, quick screen pass to the far side. It is complete and being dragged down by the ankles after picking up a couple over there. So it's 4th and short for Vista Del Lago. This time they don't have to punt. They're deep in Hemet territory at the 31.
And again, I think Coach Tui's doing a nice job mixing it up. He tries to soften up the middle, then he goes with a quick out, quick release, not allowing those defenders, defensive line to achieve that penetration.
So on 4th down, Medina going to get a last-second play change. Keep an eye on the back judge as he'll let you know if there's about to be a play clock violation. Here comes the 4th and 4 snap. It's a quick pass over the middle. It's caught. Terrence Simon with nobody between him and the end zone. He scores, and it is 8-6 Hemet as Vista Del Lago gets on the board for the first time tonight.
That was a great play, a slant into where the blitz came from. Medina stood his ground, threw from the front foot, threw it with authority, hit the back on the run, untouched into the end zone, instruments up, and let's go.
And so they'll attempt the extra point to make it a 1-point game. Vista Del Lago finally finding some offensive rhythm, and just a strike from Medina to Simon into the end zone for 6. That one is a line drive extra point. It's up, it's through, and it is 8-7. And Vista Del Lago with their first home touchdown of the season.
And I think some of the earlier passes in the beginning from Medina were they're sailing on him because he's throwing off his back foot. As that rush was coming at him, it's easy for us to say it up here. We don't have my wife's wedding party coming at us, all 200-pounders. And he's standing in, and he's got people in his face, but he threw off his front foot, stepped into it, delivered it with authority.
And so they'll kick it away. Hemet will work right to left. Clock says 3:36 to go. 8-7 Hemet. And now the Bulldogs offense, after a drive that stalled in Vista Del Lago territory, will have to go back to work. Kick is away. It is deep, and it is out of the back of the end zone, which is exactly what the coaches are looking for nowadays. Don't even give him an opportunity to return it. Take the ball at the 20 and put your defense out there to do their thing.
Quite a leg from the kicker there for Vista Del Lago.
Raul Salazar with a big boot. Going 60 yards to put it out of the back of the end zone. And here comes Jeremiah Graves and company from their own 20. Vista Del Lago has proven that they can stop them now. Slant pass. It is complete near the first down marker. Quick pass to Leonard. They will mark him about a half yard beyond it. It's a first down for Hemet as they move the chains to the 30-yard line.
Vista Lago in a cover 2 zone defense, and Hemet's doing a nice job of finding the seams right now.
So with 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Running back to the left, now shifting to the right of Graves. Appears to be Maximus Moore. Graves will fake it to Moore, take it off, tackle on the far side, picks up a good chunky yardage as he gets 7 on first down. 2nd and 3rd on the way. Good decision by Jeremiah Graves on the QB read.
One thing he did that I don't like at the end, you see how he tried to spin early and he turned his back. That really opens him up for some kidney shots for the defensive, safety's flying up and putting a helmet right in his back. Dangerous move.
So it'll be 2nd and 3. Graves takes the snap. This time it's a similar play. Takes it off the far side. Out to the sideline. He is brought down. Clock continues to run. Down to 2:20. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 3 for Hemet.
With all the size Hemet has, they have Maximus Moore generously listed at 5'9", 160. In that backfield with those holes, he could hide behind those linemen.
Graves will throw on 3rd down, and it is intercepted up the near sideline. Here comes Saul Torres. He's going to hit pay dirt. Touchdown, VDL. And the Ravens take the lead. How about the sideline for Vista Del Lago? Going nuts. Saul Torres takes it to the house. Pick 6.
And just what you said earlier about in the cover 2 with the zones, Hemet finding the seams, Torres sat on the route. He sat on the seam route, jumped it. Great read, untouched, into the end zone, instruments up, and here we go.
13-8, 154 to play. The extra point is a line drive once again. Flag flies, but it is good. We'll wait to see if it affects the score, but for now, 14-8 Vista Del Lago. And a spark plug play from Saul Torres.
I want to go back to when Vista Del Lago's defense stood up on the drive against Hemet. Hemet had driven the ball. They had a short drive the first time, had a little confidence going. They went for a 4th down, a short play. Hemet's defense read it out of a timeout. Ever since then, the momentum has turned, and now with the pick 6 back, and Vista Del Lago is flying right now, flying high.
Again, the bird analogies. We'll see how many we can fit in. Are you keeping tally over there? You better be. There you go.
Because earlier on, you might have felt like they might have laid an egg.
Mark that one down. There you go. Well, it was a personal foul at the end of the extra point, which means they'll kick off from what is now the Hemet 45. And Vista Del Lago's kicker, who put one through the back of the end zone, Raul Salazar, on his last kickoff. He's got a lot less distance. We'll see if they're going to try to pin Hemet down inside the 10 or if they want to just push it out the back of the end zone, which is what they will do. Good distance from Salazar. Had enough height to put it through the upright, so keep that in mind if it ends up being a close game towards the end of regulation.
You know what's kind of cool about Salazar, though, is he gets excited. A lot of kickers play it cool, and they just come off the sideline. Salazar's pumped up. He put that one out of the end zone, and it was like he kicked the game-winning kick in the Super Bowl. That's awesome to see. Love to see the emotion and excitement out of young players.
So from the middle of the field, they take over at the 20 again. Jeremiah Graves now has 2 interceptions on the season, threw one in the loss to Chaparral. And now trying to get the offense back on track. He fakes it first to Moore, then he shakes and bakes, picks up a few yards on his own on first down. It's a pickup of 3, and it's 2nd and 7 for the Hemet offense.
So, it's kind of a test now for Hemet. Hemet had things going their way early. Most athletes can play with that positive momentum, that positive mojo going for them. Now let's see how they bounce back, and we'll see what the young Graves does after giving up a pick six.
So Graves, from his own 23-yard line, back to pass, has a little time. They set up the screen, dump it to Moore, and he is chopped down a few yards shy of the first down marker. A strong tackle for Vista del Lago, and Moore comes up a bit shaken up.
And we got that excitement level happening right now with the defense of the Ravens. The Ravens they're pinning their ears back. They're letting the play develop, and they're flying to the ball, closing fast.
3rd and 1, Graves in the backfield. Ball on the far hash, got Moore to his right. They fake it to Moore. Graves will keep it, trying to get that yard. Second effort, ball pops out. Vista del Lago says they have it. Waiting for the signal. It certainly looks like they do. Yes, they do. Vista del Lago forces yet another turnover. And the Ravens offense is back in business, leading 13-8. Clock says 40 seconds to play here in the first quarter.
So here we have that young quarterback that wants to make something happen. He's pinned up inside, struggling. More players, more hats on the ball, and the ball pops. Sometimes it's better just to go down.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. He got the first down distance, but Vista del Lago with a scrappy play on defense comes up with the takeaway. And here comes the Ravens offense. Medina from the shotgun fires one. It's picked off. Snagged by Frankie Castillo. He's at the 50. Nobody in front of him. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Hemet. And just like that, how the momentum has shifted.
What have we not had in this game already? We've had a fumble, pick sixes, touchdown passes. Holy cow, Cullen.
2-point conversions, extra points, you name it. There's a flag down near the 40-yard line. As it stands now, we have a tie ball game, 14-all. Entertaining here on the Inland Sports Radio.
So Frankie Castillo, a junior defense back, 2 interceptions last year, an interception in the first game, sat on the route. There's Lago throwing the quick out. He sat on it, waited for it, took off, pick six, and have they made a call yet?
So it looks like they're not going to catch the touchdown. They're not going to count it, as Hemet will now have 1st and 10, a personal foul behind the play. Puts them back near the 50-yard line. It will be at their own 46, so the turnover still stands, with a touchdown taken back off the board. So disappointing for Frankie Castillo and the Bulldogs.
As Coach Gregovich right now, I mean, that's not very Phi Beta Kappa. The play's out in front. There's nobody within 20 yards chasing them. How do you get a penalty behind them? That's a mistake a young, inexperienced team makes, and this could come back to bite them, the Bulldogs.
So 1st and 10. Mark that one down. Start a new tally for the other side. There you go. 1st and 10. They're going to put it actually at the 49-yard line. Graves in trouble early here. Has to scramble to his right. He's going to turn this into a positive play and a first down as he goes deep into Vista del Lago territory. They'll mark him down at the 36-yard line of the Ravens. 1st and 10 for Hemet. Jeremiah Graves showing off what you might call missability, Tim.
That was thank you. That was a very factorable missability on that run. He had a couple little jukes, but the good thing about him, they were north-south. When the fumble happened, he was going east-west. And he got himself in some trouble because he didn't make decisive moves. That was a very decisive run.
1st and 10, Graves will give it this time to Moore. As the first quarter comes to a close, it's a pickup of 2. We will flip sides, and Hemet and Vista del Lago will continue a back-and-forth matchup as the Ravens currently lead 14-8 here on Inland Sports Radio. Ken Sporting Goods in Norco bringing you this game, and they have been serving the Inland Empire since 1976. You can visit Ken Sporting Goods for your team uniforms and all your sports gear, as well as Boost Performance Training in Corona with Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports go to Boost Performance Training. Ask about their private lessons at Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment in Riverside. Visit their new location off 115 West Lacadena Drive. Get all of the leaders' gym equipment for your home, school, or work at Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog in Redlands. Not all dogs are created equal. You can taste the difference at JoJo's Grill-A-Dog in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center. Vista Del Lago in the all-black will now work right to left as Hemet goes vice versa. Left to right, the offense sets up 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line of Vista Del Lago.
Every time you read that ad about JoJo's, it just makes me hungry. This just sounds like a good place to eat. I could take a trip to Redlands soon.
I keep expecting you to show up to the games with JoJo's hot dogs for me, and it just never happens.
Don't count your chickens.
Little pop pass out to the far side, snagged by Aiden Wood, who picks up the 1st down. Working between the hash and the sideline. They'll spot the ball at the 26, and Hemet's offense is on the move once again.
Well, right now, the way Hemet's playing, we see some hot dogs out there.
Mark that one down. There you go. So far, your bird references are winning.
The night is young.
1st and 10. This one floated far sideline. Chance for it. Good defense, but they'll throw a flag on the far side. Good coverage by Jalen Thomas out there for Vista Del Lago, but they could call either defensive pass interference or defensive holding as there was an awful lot of contact on that far sideline. And it looked initially like a strong play on the defensive side of things for Jalen Thomas. The referee disagrees, and it's a penalty worth a 1st down.
From our vantage point, it looked like Thomas played it well. He kept the receiver walled off, had the receiver on his back, and just closed on the ball quickly, tipped it out. But we're far away in this far corner of the field.
So 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line now. One receiver to the near side. They put a wing back into things now as they hand it off to Jose Rodriguez. Big collision after a pickup of 2 on 1st down.
Ravens defense looks much more confident right now. They seem to have gotten their rhythm. They're closing on the ball quickly. They're making their reads fast, and they're hitting the ball carriers deep into the backfield.
So it's 2nd and 9. They call that a 1-yard pickup. 2 receivers to the short side of the field. That's on the far side. One receiver out by himself. Alfred Adams Jr. is in a one-on-one as they hand it off to Rodriguez again. He is stuffed, and I don't even think he picked up any positive yardage on that one. It'll be 3rd and long now from the 12-yard line.
I can't help but think that they're running that as to set up a counter or something coming back this way, because they run that play a couple times and they pull the guard that time. And I got a feeling off that they're going to fake it and bring Graves back this way, maybe a naked boot, something like that.
They've got Alfred Adams basically one-on-one to the near side with a cornerback that's probably a foot shorter than him. They'll roll that way. They don't get the matchup they want. Trying to fire it to his backup option, Travis Morgan. It's over his head, and it brings up 4th and long from the 12-yard line. See if they send the kicker on or not in this situation if you're Hemet.
I see what you're saying. They had both receivers that are about 6'5", lined up on corners that are probably 5'9", 5'8", 5'9". And I think there was some confusion on the route running because they were both in the same area. They could have held hands and skipped home. They were so close together.
They could have, but instead, it's 4th down and a field goal attempt for Hemet. From the far hash, this will be a 29-yarder. 13-8, 14-8 as they snap the ball. Looks like Vista Del Lago might have come early, and this sets up an interesting situation because it's now 4th down and a much more manageable distance as it'll be 4th and 4. So again, Isaiah Aguilar will now attempt a 24-yarder. 10:20 on the clock in the first half. Aguilar from the far hash trying to make this a 3-point game. As it's 14-8, the kick is up, and it is through. A laser of a field goal. And just like that, it is 14-11 Vista Del Lago. Hemet now just a field goal away.
So let's take us back to the end of the third quarter on the pick six with the penalty. So instead of 7 points or possibly a 2-point conversion and the lead, we settled for a field goal, which is still a positive. You came out of it with some points. But I got a feeling somebody's going to hear it in film study tomorrow or this weekend whenever they look at this game film. I can't come back to say what's more egregious than that. It's my word of the day. What's more egregious than to have a guy 20 yards out in front of everybody and commit a penalty behind it? There's no way to influence that play. But, however, fortuitously, Hemet comes out with a field goal.
Well, and with how this game is going, we could see possibly a 4-point difference at the finish, at the conclusion of this one. And if it's in favor of Vista Del Lago, that penalty is going to be real big.
Absolutely.
Aguilar, after making the field goal, will kick it away. Clock reads 10:08. 14-11 Vista Del Lago. This one popped up to the 30. It is fielded. They flip back to their return man, who comes up the near side. Stephon Goss-Jenkins cuts it back after crossing midfield. He is pushed forward to the 44-yard line of Hemet. A good kick return to start this drive for the Vista Del Lago Ravens.
I got to say something. That's the first time that I've seen Stephon Goss-Jenkins run. When he got the ball, audibly, there was a gasp from the crowd. There was excitement in the air. When he touched the ball, the people around us stood up. The press box was waving. Everybody was having some fun. But it's coming back.
Again, a penalty costs the Ravens this time, as a big play that could have kind of kick-started a drive for Vista Del Lago is going to head all the way back to the 28-yard line of the Ravens. And you'll see this a lot in week 1, week 0. You're still kind of trying to brush the rust off. You have some penalties that hurt you in big ways.
But Goss-Jenkins, he's electric. That was quite a play. When the ball's in his hands, good things are going to happen.
So Medina will hand it off, lowering the shoulder and picking up 2 yards on first down is the running back. Looks like Jordan Osby on the carry for Vista Del Lago. Osby, a guy who had 3 touchdowns last season, had a touchdown in that win over Tahquitz this season. And it will be 2nd and 8 from the 30-yard line for Vista Del Lago. Again, Osby in the backfield to the left of Medina. Coming up to show blitz and going just a tad too far. It looks like will be Jonah Ventura. And it is. So a 5-yard penalty as Ventura crossed the line of scrimmage on the blitz, didn't get back in time. And so it is 2nd and 4 now from the 35-yard line.
Now, Hemet likes to stunt a little bit and fake some things and do some mock blitzes, but they got their 3rd penalty on that already today. But again, working the rust out. It's early in the season, getting the timing down.
So Medina barking out orders. He's got trips to the far side of the field. Ball spotted on the near hash. Blitz again shown from that far side. They hand it off again. Osby this time runs into a brick wall and doesn't go anywhere. Picks up maybe a yard, and it is 2nd and 3. And goes 3rd and 3 now.
The way Hemet plays it, if you see the defensive end on the wide side of the field, his split is about 8 to 10 yards out, and he takes an angle on every play. And as he comes in, he tries to crush the play. Then you have the outside linebacker in their 3-4 who then dives straight down and fill that gap. Interesting way to play things.
Man down for Hemet. At around the 35-yard line, we'll take a short break. And Vista Del Lago's defense, after really getting pushed around in that first drive for Hemet, has responded in a big way all the way into this second quarter. 9:01 to play before halftime. 14-11 in favor of the Ravens.
They're showing some resiliency today because some bad things have happened. The pick six, which was brought back, the early block, but they're playing pretty relentless football right now. Vista Del Lago just not being put down. They're just popping back up and attacking like Coach said they wanted to.
So the injured player now up and moving around for Hemet. It will be 3rd and 3 for Vista Del Lago from around the 35-yard line. So Malachi Jones will make his way towards the sideline. junior defensive player for Hemet. And so VDL is ready to go. Here comes the 3rd and 3 play. Running back to his left for Medina. Hard count, got him to jump. And there's a first down for Vista del Lago. Smart play, didn't even have to snap the ball to move the chains.
That's the 3rd first down for Vista del Lago that is on a hard count where Hemet has jumped.
Moves the ball up to the 40-yard line. It's 1st and 10.
They need to show a little more discipline. They need to sit before they roll over.
Mark that one down. 3-point lead for Vista del Lago. The Ravens offense with 8:40 to work with in the first half. Got some guys up the near sideline. Again, a miscommunication. That one is picked off. Intercepted along the near sideline by Garrett Arnold, the free safety. And Hemet's offense will get to go back to work.
Well, I feel like I'm at an MMA fight right now. Back and forth, punches being thrown, responding, individual players stepping up. Unfortunately, on that play, on an up route like that, Medina's got to let it fly so that nobody can catch it if his guy can't catch it. And he underthrew it a little bit off his back foot, and Arnold did a nice job. Arnold stepped up and picked it off and covered it up, and here we go, Hemet.
Well, and here's the funny thing, Tim, about having 2 receivers in one spot. It also brings 2 defenders.
Absolutely.
And with the free safety rolling over, Garrett Arnold saw the play coming the whole way. Ball on the ground. Vista del Lago will have their 2nd strip and 2nd fumble recovery of the evening. Coming up with the football is big number 60, Caleb Seabrooks. And Vista del Lago, just like that, takes the ball right back and picks up a net of about 30 yards.
So here we go. Again, both coaches talked about their teams being young in spots. Both coaches talked about establishing a culture. And I'm seeing a culture of resiliency from Vista del Lago.
From the 32, they spot it 1st and 10 for the Ravens as the offense gets just 1 play off after the interception. The defense comes up big, getting the ball right back for him. So Medina with the running back standing directly to his right. He has 2 receivers to the far side, to the right side of him. 2 receivers to the short side on the near side as well. They motion a man towards the short side. Lopez Rivera moves over as they hand it off. Osby picks up maybe a yard on a 1st down carry. Tries to go right up the middle, nothing doing.
So on that last play, Hemet slid their linebackers up into the gaps, which created basically a 5-man line, and they just hit the gaps. And there was no place to go up the middle or between the tackles. So we might have to see a little play action there and then maybe a little pop pass up the seam because Hemet's safety is really playing tight. Hemet's safety is moving up big time. Safeties, I should say.
No gain on 1st down, so it'll be 2nd and 10 for Vista del Lago. Ball still spotted on the near hash for the team in black. 7:40 to play here in the 2nd quarter. Medina from the shotgun, Osby to his right. Will take the snap. Looks that way, it's a screen pass, finds his man. Quick catch and run for Goss Jenkins. Along the far sideline, he's finally dragged down. Picks up about 8 yards.
And again, there's something about him when he gets the ball in his hands, his feet are moving. He's an electric runner. Just makes things happen. And he was outnumbered there too. He had 1 blocker and there was 3 defenders there, and he still had enough missability to pick up a few yards.
Missability for Goss Jenkins, 3rd and 4 as they put the ball at the 26. Again, Vista del Lago checking the wristbands to get the play. Hemet's defense kind of on their heels here with 6:50 to play in the 2nd quarter. Vista del Lago leading 14-11. In trouble is Medina. He slips out of 1 tackle. Receiver coming back, makes the catch. Micah Hayes makes 1 man miss. Picks up a good chunk of yardage on what could have been a big loss for Vista del Lago. And he picks up a couple yards, making something out of nothing. It is 4th down, though, 4th and 3 for the Ravens.
So what do we do here? We have a kicker who's got a good leg and some enthusiasm. Or are we going for it on 4th and 2, maybe 1.5? I say let's go for it. It's early. We have a lead.
Vista del Lago will keep the offense out there for now.
And this has to be a huge confidence builder for the kids out there, the younger players, saying, Coach has faith in me to roll. Let's go.
So Vista del Lago on top, 14-11. And now the Ravens will call time to talk things over. 5:56 to play. Vista del Lago trailed 8-0 at one point. Battled all the way back. They now lead 14-11.
And that play was made up by Medina, sliding, creating some time for his receivers to come back to the ball. His receivers did a nice job, came back to the ball. Even though they didn't get a first down, it still shows the toughness of Medina in there in the pocket.
So Vista del Lago chatting this one over. We'll see if maybe they go hard count again on a big 4th down. And you got to think Hemet's coaching staff is in the huddle right now telling everybody to watch the ball.
That's a great call. I mean, they've got 3 first downs off it already, and they've shown the willingness to be aggressive or over-aggressive, overread.
So on 4th and short, Vista del Lago trying to keep the drive alive. Up by 3. You're listening live to high school football on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. Appreciate you tuning in. That's Tim Hatch. I'm Cullen Holt. And here comes the Ravens offense. Don't forget to contact Stan, the policy man, Jenkins. Or Hopkins, that is. Excuse me. 951-880-8998. Stan, the policy man, Hopkins. 4th and 3.
We have a good interview with him at halftime today.
Trouble for Medina. He's going backwards, still going back. He loses the football, and it is fallen on by Hemet. Back-to-back fumbles. And in the last few plays, we've seen an interception by the Bulldogs, a fumble recovery by the Ravens, and now a fumble recovery by the Hemet Bulldogs as they put the offense back on the field.
And unfortunately, that play comes from a young quarterback trying to make something happen. Instead of just eating it there or throwing it out of bounds, which you give up the play, but now he gave up 30 yards trying to scramble, and then he was running with the ball loose too with pressure. As a young quarterback, you got to tuck. Got to get that ball tight.
From the Hemet 48-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Who has the momentum now? I can't tell. Momentum here, momentum there, back and forth, fumble, picks. Everyone has momentum.
That's what makes it such a fun game. High speed, high intensity matchup. 14-11 Vista del Lago, 5:45 to play. Medina keeps it himself, picks up 2 yards to midfield on the first down play.
And I can't keep coming back. What you mentioned earlier about the one-on-one matchups on the outside. You have the receiver here about 6'5", 6'6", number 16, Alfred Adams. And you have a corner on him that's probably about 5'8". And I can't help but think they're going to try and take advantage of that.
They'll roll to the left, though, for Graves. Dumps it off to Aiden Wood. He is close to the first down, and he's going to pick it up by a yard out to the Vista del Lago 42.
And another thing Hemet's doing, they're keeping the pocket moving with those large linemen, which also creates the angles for Graves to keep. Doing a nice job mixing things up.
Marking at the 41. On the far hash for Hemet, they huddle up. Vista del Lago goes no huddle, uses the wristbands. Hemet likes to huddle. 1st and 10. Clock now not necessarily on anyone's side here. 4.5 to play until halftime. This time they'll roll the way of Adams. Graves in all kinds of trouble. He will just get out of the pocket and throw it away, and that's a veteran move. But now they'll throw a flag. And it'd be interesting to see if they call intentional grounding here because he did escape the pocket, get to the sideline, and now another flag flies. And it is going to be an intentional grounding. So Graves trying to throw it away and make a smart move, and he's going to get penalized for it.
And a loss down.
So 2nd and 25, the ball goes all the way back to the 47-yard line.
But at least he was thinking of doing something positive instead of eating the ball on a 20-yard drop or sack.
So now Graves will have to air it out. A sniper over the middle. He's got his man. Ethan Leonard's going to go. Touchdown, Hemet. And the Bulldogs are back on top. Leonard with both touchdowns for Hemet.
52-yarder. He threw, I want to say, a good 35-yard strike, and Leonard did the rest on the way. The safeties closed and converged a little too late. There was a seam there. Leonard exploited it, caught it on the run. Touchdown, Hemet. Instruments up.
17-14 Bulldogs. Aguilar on for the extra point. And Hemet comes roaring back with 4:14 to play. The extra point is low, but it's got enough height for an extra point to tack on to the lead here for Hemet. 18-14, Bulldogs on top. So Vista Del Lago's offense will look to respond, now trailing by 4 with just over 4 minutes to play in the first half.
So I was just doing some quick calculations on the hatch statistics, the unofficial hatch statistics. I had Graves completing his first 7 passes for 74 yards until the interception, which Vista Del Lago returned for a pick 6. But he's bounced back nicely there on a 52-yard throw there. So he's not showing any qualms or not showing any second thoughts about making plays after throwing a pick 6. He's come back pretty strongly.
Aguilar pops this one up, going to land at the 35 where it is fielded, trying to come up the near sideline and make a move, and finally getting pushed out of bounds in the last second. So a solid return for Vista Del Lago. The offense will start at their own 39 after Joshua Hill brings it up the near sideline.
So we can look back to the return for Hemet where the bad penalty came. How about Goss Jenkins having that return all the way up to about the 40-yard line, being brought back for Vista Del Lago on that last drive. Penalties playing a big part in the way the game's being played today.
With 4:07 on the clock, they hand it off. Osby gets the carry, picks up 2 on first down. 18-14 Hemet. After a touchdown strike from Jeremiah Graves to what appears to be his favorite target, Ethan Leonard.
And both teams have shown some good adjustments from the coaching staffs. Like we said, this is like a MMA fight, just adjusting to what the other team's throwing at you, what type of punches, and counter-punching. And right now, let's see how Vista Del Lago responds.
They'll say he got 3 yards on first down. So 2nd and 7. They give it to him again. Osby falls forward for a yard. And it is 3rd and 6 for VDL.
So you can see there's tough sledding against the Dogs up the middle.
Yet another tally in the Hatch book. Near hash, Vista Del Lago. 3rd and 6. Going to send 2 receivers out wide to that far side. Tight end to the far side as well. And now a late whistle as they'll call delay of game on Vista Del Lago. And that'll make it 3rd and 11. And what a good challenge early on for Vista Del Lago, a Division 14 team going up against a team from Division 11 that's coming off a CIF semifinals appearance.
And I think what's got to happen here, and Coach said the culture's changed, the weight room changed, everyone's attitude changed. They got to believe in themselves on the field. As a young team, they've seen the positive results of what has happened. They got to stick with what got them there and not to try to do too much.
There's a handoff up the middle. Osby is swarmed. The ball squirts loose at the end, but they'll say he was down first. Pickup of 2, 4th and 9. And here comes the punt unit for Vista del Lago as Raul Salazar makes his way back out there. Had his first punt of the game blocked. The second one was clean and was a good punt as well. So 4th and 9.
And he's shown quite a leg on kickoffs, kicking it well out of the end zone on both attempts. Better hurry.
And that kick is blocked as well. Hemet comes up with it. All the way back near the 25-yard line of Vista del Lago. 3 punts, 2 of them blocked, and they'll spot it at the 27.
I think that was Salazar taking a little too much time. Snap was there. It was in the right spot. He was just taking too long to get the kickoff. And Hemet closed on him quick.
So 1st and 10 from the 27. Hemet now up by 4 after coming back to take the lead. The offense will take over with 1:27 to play in the first half. 27 yards to go to the end zone. Graves, the snap, gives it to Moore, who's moving backwards. He slips out of one tackle, can't escape the second one, and loses about 5 yards on the play. He goes back to the 32-yard line. They'll spot him all the way back at the 33.
And I think the Ravens are showing some great speed on the edge and showing some great closing on the edge. It's going to be tough for Hemet to get outside in them. They had to stick with what they got them there, using between the tackle runs. And also using Graves on some play action, and also hitting these receivers that are all pretty tall.
2nd and 16, Graves with room to roll to the near side, going to be holding most likely as a flag flies. Graves is tripped up. They may decline the penalty here as Graves loses about a yard on the scramble. And so it is going to be holding against Vista del Lago. We'll see if Hemet decides to accept it or if they'll take the loss of down on the keeper by Graves. And they are going to keep the holding on there. So it's a 10-yard penalty. Will be 2nd and 26 now. Put it all the way back at Vista del Lago's 49-yard line.
There's a very untimely penalties today from the Bulldogs.
41 seconds to play. See what Hemet can make of these last few ticks on the clock. When you're only 27 yards away, it was definitely most likely going to be all out for the touchdown. You kick the field goal if you can't get in before the 1:29 that was on the clock expires. But now you're down to 41 seconds and 49 yards away.
Not sure how many timeouts they have left, but they're going to have to stay to the sideline to stop the clock. Vista Lago closes well from the sideline, though. Just going to kind of feed right into their wheelhouse defensively.
From the 49-yard line, they've got to get all the way down to the 17.
No way against this Raven defense can you wing it.
Mark that one down. Graves going to air it out. Strike over the middle. Contact made, and there's the flag. Clock goes down to 24 seconds. And it looks like it might even be a personal foul, which would Be an automatic first down. They're marking it off. That looks a little bit more like defensive holding. So 2nd and 17. Graves up the far sideline, looking for Leonard. And a stretched out attempt is not enough for Hemet. Clock down to 28 seconds.
If you're the Ravens sideline, you got to take a deep breath and sigh of relief there because he had 3 steps on that corner, and the safety did not roll over. And so that was an open receiver. I wish Graves had that. He wishes he had that one back.
Leonard was running almost all by himself down that far sideline. Here's 3rd and 17. Graves going to go right back that way. Long pass is knocked away, but another flag. Looks like it's going to be pass interference on Vista del Lago. And once again, Hemet going to get a little help on the penalty side of things.
That one, there was double coverage out there. You had the corner with them, and then the safety rolled over. But one of them did extend his hands. Could see it from here. It was a good call. Ball was catchable, and instead of playing the ball, the defensive back put his hands, both hands out, extended, and pushed Leonard.
And so it will be. 3rd and 2 from the 19-yard line. Hemet trying to move the chains with 21 seconds left in the first half. Bulldogs lead by 4. Again, they go to the far corner, and that one is caught. Leonard again. 3rd touchdown. And Hemet extends its lead. 24-14 Bulldogs.
Now, on those last couple passes, you saw Graves really put some air on it. And I think he saw that mistake he made on that one missed touchdown pass, and he's allowing his receivers a chance to get good position on the shorter defensive backs. Well played. Here we are with that negative momentum going back to midfield on the penalties, and Hemet finds a way to get through.
The extra point, the snap gets off, but it will be a penalty against Vista del Lago. And the last time we saw something like this, Hemet ended up bringing the offense out, went for 2 and got it. 3 touchdowns for Hemet. All 3 of them, the Graves to Leonard connection. A 1-2 punch. Kick is on the way. It is good. 25-14 Hemet with just 13 seconds left.
Boy, what a change from what we had last week. We had 6 7-minute drives, a 7-7 game at halftime. And again, it's like a prize fight, back and forth, both teams taking slugs. I think Vista Lago has to find a way to get to Graves, contain him a little bit, and not let him get outside, but also, I'm sorry, Cullen just got attacked by the biggest moth I've ever seen in my life. I thought it was a raven coming through to get you those.
I definitely thought it was a raven. You get scored on, go after the broadcaster. That's the logical move to make. 25-14, 13 seconds to play. We've lost Hatch for a few minutes. Let you know when he joins us again. Here's the kickoff, Aguilar. Little squib kick, gonna get fielded and muffed. Falling on it, the ball is still loose, and there is an absolute mad scramble for it. Hemet says they have it, and if they do, that could be big news, and it's Hemet ball with 6 seconds to play. You gotta fall on the squib kick.
And I don't know which player it was for Hemet, but one of them, I want to say hats off because he's got his hat on the ball. So as this Lago player was reaching for the ball, one of the Hemet guys who flew up the field dove for the ball, and his hat hit it, knocking it loose for another 20 yards towards the end zone. And then Hemet just attacked and flew to the ball.
Got a Vista del Lago player down now. But what a scramble.
And that whole momentum and pep in the step thing, we're starting to see back and forth. Good thing happens, you see the energy rise, and then something happens, you see the energy drop. Right now, Hemet's got the energy, some clear momentum right now. Vista Lago is going to have to find a way to limit those receivers. I think staying inside on them. If there's zone coverage them, they have to stay inside, wall them off, but they're still going to throw over the top. So they have to put pressure at the same time on Graves.
So with 6 seconds left, do you think Hemet has a shot to the end zone and then a chance to bring out the field goal kicker, or you think it's just one play?
I think they can do both. I think they got 6 seconds is enough time to air out another fade route to the tall receivers. If it's incomplete, you got plenty of time. And I don't know if they have any timeouts left. I should know this, but if they do, and if say it's a catch down by the end zone, quick timeout, you can still stop the clock in time for a kick.
So 1st and 10, going to set up at the 20-yard line. Don't forget about Stan, the policy man. Danny Stan Hopkins at 951-880-8998 with Loomis Insurance Services. Here is the 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Ball in the middle of the field. Graves, quick lob, near side. He's got Adams over there. Adams Jr. can't come up with it, and there's still 2 ticks left in the clock. We will see the field goal unit come on for Hemet as they lead by 11, looking to make it a 2-touchdown lead.
Very well read by Vista Lago. Their corners pushed to the outside. Safety rolled over quickly. But on the other side, Graves threw it where nobody else could catch it either. That was a perfectly placed ball where nobody's going to get it if his guy doesn't get it.
Now Hemet calls a timeout. Who do you have more confidence in? If you're Gregovich, is it your offense or is it the leg of your kicker?
I'm going offense. I'm going to go offense with this because look at the way Leonard's playing. You could run Leonard on a seam route while you run the 2 big receivers on the outside, so you can slant him over the middle and let him catch and run because he's shown quite a burst after he catches too.
3 touchdowns for Ethan Leonard tonight. And Leonard, a guy who had 6 catches for 31 yards in game 1, that win over Tackwitz, has just exploded here in game 2 of the season in week 1.
And I have to tell the listeners what happened. I disappeared for a second to call animal control to see if we could catch that moth before it carried a small child off. That thing was huge.
Absolutely a danger to society. They will bring the field goal kicker on. I'm surprised I still have my eyes. It came right at my face. Isaiah Aguilar. This will be a 37-yarder. He's shown some pretty good leg. That one curving, and it is through the uprights. 28-14, we head to the halftime locker just like that. And how about the Hemet Bulldogs responding and building a 14-point lead to go into halftime?
Again, I use the word resiliency for Vista Lago. Let's see what kind of resiliency they have coming back in the second half. But Hemet showing quite a bit of heart here, not giving up. A veteran team defensively has shown that, and offensively, these young guys getting some reps.
So Hemet leading 28-14. We'll have the second half for you here on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. It's Inland Sports Internet Radio and Thursday Night High School Football. That's Tim Hatch. I'm Cullen Holt. Now for a quick chat with Stan, the policy man, Hopkins. You can call him at 951-880-8998 or email him at dhopkins@loomis4insurance.com. That's Loomis, the number 4, insurance.com. For your home, auto, business, workers' comp, restaurants, anything you need. Loomis Insurance Services, that's Stan, the policy man. Quick chat with him as Tim Hatch caught up with him earlier this week.
This is Tim Hatch here with Stan, the policy man. Danny Hopkins, an all-star in sports and in insurance. How you doing today, Dan?
I'm doing great, Coach Hatch. Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
Outstanding. I want to start with talking a little bit about yourself. What's your background in athletics?
As a young child, my background was pretty much everything. Mainly basketball, baseball, and martial arts. I did everything from soccer, football, golf, pretty much everything, but my main focus was basketball and the martial arts mainly.
Where did you learn martial arts?
My dad actually has been teaching martial arts my whole life. He does that for a living. He has a big studio in Riverside off of Indiana, 7001 Indiana. And now I'm teaching for them a little bit. I teach a couple of kids classes a couple times a week, and it's been a real joy. I enjoy doing that stuff.
I understand you were quite the basketball player at Arlington High and Mount San Jacinto College.
That was back in the day. Now I'm retired, but yeah, I did a little bit of basketball. I played 3 years at Arlington for Coach Seidel, and then after that I moved on to Mount San Jacinto for a couple seasons and played with Patrick Springer. And then after that, I was fortunate enough to earn a scholarship to Western State Colorado University, where I was classmates with the running back on the LA Chargers, Austin Eckler. So that's kind of cool to follow.
Outstanding. That's cool. Let's move on to Stan the Policy Man and Loomis Insurance. Why sponsor high school football?
You know, my boss and I, he's a huge football guy. He used to play football himself, and I was always going to high school football games with my dad and brother as I was growing up. And I just think high school sports in general is very important and beneficial for all the kids. Just learning about teamwork and camaraderie and just different things like that for the outside of when you're outside of high school and college. Those things really help you trying to get a job and other things, and really puts you ahead of most.
And, you know, I got to say, along with Spoiled Oil, who's one of our sponsors, and Ken Sporting Goods, we're really proud and excited to have Stan the Policy Man and Loomis Insurance here. What can possible clients get from Stan the Policy Man, Loomis Insurance? And this is speaking as a client.
Yeah, well, first off, thank you for bringing your business over to me. I'm really grateful for that. But people can just expect the ease of doing business and an honest guy. I'm not looking to take advantage or make money off of anyone. Obviously, I got to make a living, but I'm always looking to save my clients money any way possible. I have access to tons of different companies, so I'm always shopping the best possible premium for our clients. But other than that, just the ease of doing business, very friendly. And people don't want to talk to an insurance broker on the phone all the time. So just a couple text message or emails here and there, and we'll get your stuff squared away, and you'll be on your way and not having to worry about it anymore.
And last but not least, again, this is Tim Hatch from Inland Sports talking to Stan the Policy Man, Danny Hopkins, all-star in basketball and an insurance game. You against Davey Hopkins, your brother, one-on-one in basketball. Who wins?
Davey would win, except in a shooting contest. Then Stan the Policy Man would.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Thank you for your time. It's been a joy. We'll see you at some football games this year. And remember, see Stan the Policy Man. You'll find his information on the scroll during the game. You'll see it on the website of Inland Sports. Thank you for your time, Danny.
Thank you, Coach Hatch. I appreciate it. You have a
And we are back again at Vista del Lago High School. Got a good one going between Hemet and VDL. These two teams going back and forth. Hemet had a big lead to start things off. Vista del Lago came roaring back to take a 14-8 lead, and then it's been all Hemet since then as they are up 28-14 as we're ready to kick off the second half. Vista del Lago will boot it away right to left. Hemet going to return left to right there in the white uniforms. It's a short kick, has fallen on the ball. At about the 34-yard line are the Bulldogs, and they will go to work there with Jeremiah Graves leading the way.
Right now, Graves is in a rhythm. I think that Vista Lago has to find an answer to the Ethan Leonard conundrum. Ethan Leonard has just been picking them apart, slicing and dicing like a Ginsu knife out there. But Graves has been doing a nice job keeping the pocket moving, avoiding pressure. The only one bad play was the grounding play, which I don't know if he has to throw it near a receiver, out of the pocket, whatever. But it was a smart play to not take the big loss. But right now, Hemet has shown more resiliency, and they got the momentum.
3 touchdowns for the Bulldogs, all 3 of them. The Jeremiah Graves to Ethan Leonard connection. They'll hand the ball off on first down, pickup of 1 or 2 on the first down. Carry on the ground go the Bulldogs. And if you follow Dennis Gregovich on Twitter, you hear him talking about what he calls the sniffer offense, which is that foot-to-foot setup, that ground and pound offense. And that's something we just really haven't seen much of in this one.
No, they've aired it out pretty well, and they've used. And I love the size of the receivers. The receivers are college-sized receivers going against high school-sized DBs.
So it's 2nd and 8 after the first down carry pickup of 2. Graves takes the snap, going to flip it out to his running back. It is snagged by Jose Rodriguez. He gets a couple more on the catch and run, and it'll be 3rd and long.
Now, that's kind of a long handoff there. He starts on the backfield. He slips out on a mini wheel route. Just a quick pass from Graves. Catch and read. But, again, I just think that the Ravens outside, their defensive backs close so quickly, they got to stay with those longer slant routes or seam routes and take advantage of the size of the receivers.
3rd and 6 from the 36-yard line. Graves in the shotgun, far hash. Going to throw a screen to the near side. Got Adams Jr., and it's in and out of his hands to bring up 4th and long.
So I think what they're trying to do is get Adams involved. He's a big guy. He looks a little tentative right now. They've thrown a couple passes his ways. They want to get used to using his size and throw him a bone, if you will.
Mark that one down. There's another tally. You have to turn the page. Are you going to add those tallies up from the page before?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Got to make sure the statistics are cumulative. This will be a penalty on Hemet. Vista del Lago is going to accept it, which means it'll be 4th and 11. It's a loss of down as well. So 4th and 11. They leave the offense out there from their own 31. I'm not sure what the thinking behind this is, unless Hemet does not have a punter on the roster. And it is going to go back to 3rd down. So it is 3rd and 11. No loss of down on the penalty. Surprising that Vista del Lago accepted the penalty. Now Graves in trouble. He eludes one tackler, heaves one down the near sideline. He had a man, and Frankie Castillo just couldn't hang on to it along the near edge of the field. And so on 3rd down, it goes 4th and 11, and here comes the punt team for Hemet.
What happened there was they were trying again. Alfred Adams had slipped past the corner, and Frankie Castillo actually came out from the slot, outran Adams to the spot. Adams stopped running on a route because that's what he was actually throwing to. And Castillo almost made a great headsy play.
So 4th and 11. Hemet trying to get a little extra instruction from the sideline. And now they'll have to call time. A little confusion on the special teams as Garrett Arnold, who had an interception earlier, will be out there with the punt team.
So we'll see if this timeout comes back to haunt them later. It's a fairly close game still. And, you don't want to burn a timeout with a minute and a half into the 3rd quarter to start the 2nd half.
So Hemet and Vista del Lago will retreat to their respective sidelines to talk this one over. 10:35 left here in the 3rd quarter, 28-14. Hemet on top. A good surge at the end of the first half.
And you can hear some of the noise from the overflow crowd. They've moved in some auxiliary bleachers here at Vista del Lago to fit all the students in the student section. The Hemet fans are spilling over there on the other side. Really huge crowd. Traveling well tonight are the Bulldogs.
So Garrett Arnold back at his own 18-yard line. Low snap. He's going to rugby punt it, running to his right. He gets it off. It will bounce inbounds, roll down to the 31-yard line. And that is where Vista del Lago will have the offense back on the field.
Nice job of the Vista del Lago defense that time. On the last 2 drives, Hemet had to start the half or finish this first half. Quarterback for Hemet, 3 for 4, 80 yards and 2 TDs. Very efficient game for him right now for Graves.
1st and 10 from the 31. The Ravens from the near hash have 3 receivers out to the far side. Medina looks at the wristband, gets the play. And now a flag. Looks like it'll be encroachment on Hemet. And it is. So an early penalty against the Bulldog defense in this drive.
Now at this point, if you're the defensive Hemet, you don't want to give any gifts. You don't want to hand anything to Vista del Lago. You want them to earn every inch. And just not very disciplined football right now to get a penalty like that to start their first possession.
So from the 36-yard line, 1st and 5 for Vista del Lago. Medina, same formation. He'll hand it off, slicing up the middle for a pickup of 4. We'll get close to the first down marker. A carry by Osby.
That was by far their best offensive run up the middle through the game.
2nd and inches from near the 41-yard line. And now they're going to give him the first down. So an interesting late call. They'll say he gets it by the nose of the football. 1st and 10 from the 41.
Hey, as long as we got it right, doesn't matter if it's late.
Medina makes the clapping motion with his hands, snaps the ball, hands off to Osby. Up the middle, that's a pickup of 3 on 1st down. 2nd and 7 for Vista del Lago. They trail by 14.
In the first week, Osby was a workhorse for him against Tockwitz with 124 yards and a touchdown.
2nd and 7. Medina looks to the sideline. Gets the hand signals. Now they go to a balanced set, 2 receivers on each side. Ball still spotted on the near hash. 2nd down snap. They'll give it to Osby again. He is hit immediately. Falls forward for an extra couple yards to make it 3rd and 5. Out to the 46-yard line.
And a sad image for our listeners to look at, number 6, Goss Jenkins, the electric running back. Looks like he probably won't be coming back today on the sideline on the trainer's table with an ice bag on his knee. Great weapon for them. Great electric runner. Looks like he's out rest of the day.
3rd and 5 for Vista del Lago. Medina, quick slant pass, miscommunication. It is picked off. Intercepted by number 4, Frankie Castillo. And Hemet with yet another takeaway in this one.
Castillo is all over Vista del Lago like a cheap suit. Just moving everywhere, and he's reading plays and making intelligent football plays, showing a great IQ back there in the defensive backfield.
So they'll put the ball at the Hemet 49-yard line. The Bulldogs offense will get another crack at the VDL defense. 8:44 to play here in the 3rd quarter, 28-14 Hemet.
And on the last offensive possession for Hemet, it looked like they were really consciously trying to make an effort to get Alfred Adams involved, the 6'6" wideout. And let's see if they go back to what they were doing earlier, feeding Ethan Arnold.
They'll hand it off to Maximus Moore. He tries to cut off tackle to the far side. And instead, it's a loss of 1.
You know, and they keep trying to go outside, even though it's kind of an off tackle. He's trying to break it outside. Vista Lago's outside defense on the edges is just too quick. Very explosive, closing on plays very fast. Like a raven caught a tailwind.
Moore had 3 carries for 42 yards in that win over Tockwitz, along with a touchdown. Here's a false start against Hemet. That'll move them back on a 2nd and 10 play.
Now, if I can use my toes to count, and multiply, that would seem to me be about a 14-yard to carry average.
Seems like it, but you haven't added in the hatch statistics
That's true.
from today.
That's true.
From the 44-yard line, this will be 2nd and 15 for Hemet. Seems like a passing down to me. Bulldogs have thrown the ball well today. Graves from the far hash looks at his options to his left. Now he steps up. He'll tuck it and run. Going to get back near the original line of scrimmage, and it will be 3rd and a country mile as they set up for the next play.
How long is a country mile, Cullen?
Just a little bit longer than a city mile.
5,281 feet?
82. 3rd and 11 from the 48-yard line. 7:48 on the clock. 14-point lead for the Bulldogs. So Graves is ready. Gonna sling one over the middle, and it is caught. First down, and that time it's Travis Morgan with the catch. The tight end, the senior, 6'4", 220. Had 222 yards in 2018.
And what Morgan did there was he just ran right up the seam. So they took the receivers, they got the corners to read out on the receivers. He slid right up the seam, wide open, great delivery. Graves is showing some great poise today.
1st and 10, this time from the 33-yard line. Little screen pass, it's bobbled, and Leonard is able to gather it as Vista Del Lago's defense was closing quickly. It's a pickup of 1.
That's great concentration there. Kind of like my mother-in-law concentrates on that Thanksgiving turkey, especially when it's right in front of her. But that ball got tipped, deflected, fluttered, much like that moth that attacked you before he caught it.
You know, if he comes back, I'll be ready. I heard that you kind of have a beef with him as well.
I do. I have my hat ready. He's done. He's toast.
2nd and 9. Here's a flip down the left sideline. It's bobbled and almost able to hang on to it was Leonard. Unable to keep it in his mitts, though, and it is 3rd and 9.
And his hands are so good, I would say they give me pause.
You got to start a whole new column for that one. 3rd and 9 for Hemet.
But it was a great read by the Vista Lago safety. He closed on the play really quickly, and he flashed in front of the ball. It could have been intercepted, and that was enough to distract Leonard, break his concentration.
New personnel for Hemet. Little pump fake from Graves. Steps up in the pocket. Still looking for an opportunity to throw. As he tucks the ball, he is cut down at around the 40-yard line. A loss of almost 5 yards. Back to the 40. And that sets up a 4th and long for Hemet.
Saul Torres closing on that play. Flew in like a rocket. Like he was launched from a rocket. A grenade launcher, veritably, as he closed on that play.
If you say flew in, does that count?
Absolutely.
Mark that one down. They're going to bring the punter on here. Ball spotted at the 40. The punter will stand at the 50. Vista Del Lago has got nobody back. And now they motion 3 receivers to the near side. We'll see if those are just gunners on the punt coverage or if this is a possible fake. And now the snap, that might be a few seconds too late. It is delay of game on Hemet. And Vista Del Lago handled that one perfectly. Motioned out with the receivers, didn't leave any open lanes. And that's one of those situations that it looks like Hemet was just trying to see how Vista Del Lago would respond to the shift. And they would make their decision based on that, whether or not to either fake it or just punt it away. Hemet lined up normally now.
Vista Del Lago, as you said, showed great discipline there.
And now they'll just snap it away. Garrett Arnold puts the foot to the ball, tries to drop this one in. Good coverage by Castillo, and he is unable to catch up with it. Took a bounce away from him. It rolls into the end zone. And Vista Del Lago will start over at the 20, trailing by 14 with 5:25 to play here in this 3rd quarter.
So I think that was a great stand by Vista Del Lago. Now, offensively, they got to make something happen here. Got to come up with some points out of this. to get that confidence back. It had to be a blow to see Goss Jenkins come out of the game because he's quite a weapon. And now other guys have to step up. Some younger guys maybe get a chance to play with him out, but we got to find an answer, and we got to get back to that quick passing game and take advantage of the penetration by the Bulldogs.
So here comes 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Vista del Lago again looking at the wristbands. They trail by a couple of touchdowns. Medina takes the snap. Handoff, the operation is clean, but there's not much running room for Osby as he picks up 1, maybe 2 yards on a 1st down carry.
And I'm not faulting the Vista del Lago interior line there. It's just tough sledding. There's no place to go because they're just jamming up the gaps with their front line plus 2 linebackers. They got 5 guys up in the gaps. You're going to have to do something to the outside, taking advantage of the speed that Vista del Lago has.
Gain of 1 on 1st down, 2nd and 9 for VDL. 2 receivers out to the right of Medina as the team in the all black goes right to left across your radio dial. Another carry up the middle, ball squirts loose. Hemet says they have it. Referees seem to disagree. It's a pickup of 2, and it will bring up 3rd and 6. And now they say Hemet did have it. And the Bulldogs with another takeaway. Another fumble recovery for the Bulldogs. 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line.
That's a backbreaker for a young team that's trying to establish some confidence. First home game, the excitement here. You have the band, you got the dance team, cheer team, and everyone ready to roll. Again, trying to make too much happen. If they just stay in their roles, they'll be fine. That's something that a young team has to learn.
1st and 10 from the 24 with a 14-point lead. Hemet's offense looks to add to the scoreboard. Motion a man across. Graves snaps, flips to Moore. He's coming towards the near sideline, makes 1 move, and a good open field tackle for Vista del Lago along that near side. It is a loss of 2 on 1st down.
Again, the outside edge guys for Vista del Lago close so quickly. Very impressed so far with Torres, number 43. He's kind of a leader out there, and just kind of he's like he got launched out of a rocket or pushed out of his nest, so to speak.
2nd and 12. Back at the 26-yard line. Graves with a 1-back set. 2 split wide to the left. He looks that way, looking to throw. He is going to air it out over the head and out of the reach of Ethan Leonard.
It was kind of a weird route. I think somebody ran the wrong one because you had 2 guys running post routes. And there wasn't even post corners. It was both. There's 2 safeties and a 2 deep coverage, and each receiver ran at a safety. I think one of them should have cleared to the corner, and one should have been straight up, and then one in the corner would have been clear. Early season miscommunication.
So it brings up 3rd and 12. Again, new personnel coming on for Hemet. Graves gets the play from the sideline, and Hemet has done a little bit of that huddle offense, a little bit of using the wristbands and the hand signals, as well as the cards over there on the far sideline. From 3rd and 12, they set up the screen pass. Underneath, they dump it off to Jose Rodriguez. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage plus a yard, and so it will be 4th and 9. And we know that the field goal kicker Aguilar has got the leg to put this one through the uprights, and they'll send him on. Up by 14, Aguilar will look to extend the lead for Hemet.
Actually, I'm not counting, but Aguilar has 2 legs.
He only uses 1 to kick the ball, though.
But the other one he has to stand on.
Not if he's attacked by a moth, and the moth takes his leg. From the 30, it's a 40-yarder. This one is drilled, and it just sneaks wide right. So Vista del Lago narrowly escapes that one. 28-14, the Raven offense will look to take better care of the ball as they get back to work.
So, as we, again, Vista Lago's defense is bending, not breaking. They're making plays. They've had 2 negative drives, yardage-wise, for Hemet back-to-back. And I think this, again, shows that resiliency. We've said defense ahead of offense this early in the year. And right now, the offense needs to get a sustained drive here, something positive that they can hang their hats on for later.
1st and 10. Miscommunication in the backfield. Hit immediately as Medina. He turned to hand it off one way. The running back went the other way. And it's a big 1st down loss for the Ravens as they go back 6 yards all the way back to the 14-yard line. And it's 2nd and 16.
An inauspicious beginning to this drive. And again, some desperation setting in, but there's plenty of time. With 2:23 here in this quarter, down 2 touchdowns, a sustained drive, a score, defense is standing tall, making a stand, another drive. The game's well within reach.
So it's a quick screen pass to the near side. Micah Hayes makes the catch, picks up a couple. And it's 3rd and 12 from the 18-yard line. Now they're going to say that Hemet might have jumped. And VDL will be correct. It's a 5-yard penalty. That makes this 3rd down a bit more manageable for Vista Del Lago.
By my unofficial hatch statistic count, that's their 5th encroachment penalty.
So it's 3rd and 7 now. Changes your play calling just a tad if you're VDL. From the 23-yard line. With 1.5 to play in quarter number 3. Medina, quick pass, near side. It's caught by Hayes, makes one man miss. He's out near the 1st down marker, and it looks like he got it. They will move the chains out just past the 30-yard line. Hayes got just enough of what Vista Del Lago needed, and now a fresh set of downs for the Ravens.
If you're a Raven fan, you got to hope that's a little boost of confidence, something positive happening. They just got to dig in right now. And they can't panic. And again, when you try to make extra plays outside of your responsibilities, that's where fumbles come in, or bad passes or bad reads. Just stay with the system Coach Tui has taught you. Run the offense, workmanlike drive, and we'll see what happens.
Near hash, 3 receivers to the wide side. They're going to hand it off. This is Osby. Lowers the shoulder and gets a gain of 3. Out to the 34-yard line, where it will be 2nd and 7. Osby has to ditch the towel he had hanging from his pants.
Osby's a tough runner. He's a warrior. He's been getting beat up all day and still has some bounce in his step, still attacking the hole, running downhill.
Especially with the absence of Stephon Goss-Jenkins now, who was a 1,000-yard rusher last season for Vista Del Lago. And now timeout called by Vista Del Lago. Not sure what the miscommunication was there, but with 12 seconds left in the 3rd, they will call time. It looks like the Vista Del Lago sideline wants an explanation as well from the referees. Either way, they gave time to the Ravens with 2nd and 7 coming up.
I think that the Ravens need to go back to what early in the first half, late first quarter, early second quarter, they had a couple good sustained drives that were fed off of quick passes, slants, quick reads. And then, again, here's some playing time in a non-league format against a higher division foe to see if some of these younger players can step up and be counted on. If, hopefully not, knock on wood, that anything, if Goss-Jenkins is gone for any length of time. But time for somebody to step up a little bit. The pressure's starting to mount again on Medina, and they got to run some of those quick outs and bubble screens and just different plays to get him relieved of some of that pressure.
So from the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 7 for the Ravens. They trail by 14, just a few ticks left on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. Medina will get things in motion with a clap. Going to air it out near sideline. He's got a man. Coming back on the ball and being unable to make the catch over there is number 9. And they are going to throw flags from every which way. And I think the fact that Garrett Arnold did not turn around when the receiver turned right back into him is going to be what prompts the penalty here.
And Arnold read it well, but he didn't know that the ball was underthrown slightly. The receiver did a nice job reading it. Not quite a back shoulder throw, but he had to come back for it. And fortunately, fortuitously, Arnold was in the way.
So the pass interference puts the ball at the 49-yard line. 2nd and 10 for the Ravens there. It's their own 49. Handed off to Osby. He plows ahead for a couple of yards, just trying to keep the Hemet defense honest. And that will end the third quarter. As we head to the 4th and final frame, Hemet leads 28-14 over Vista del Lago here on the Inland Sports YouTube channel, Inland Sports Internet Radio with Cullen, Holt, and Tim Hatch.
What we're starting to see now is, again, I think that Vista Lago is kind of either responding to Coach Tuohy's coaching to get back into what they did earlier, or they're relaxing a little bit. And again, with a younger team, a team that is taking that, they want to take that next step, according to Coach Tuohy. Take that next step. They have to dig in, do what they're coached when they were coached to do it. So that's where, again, the fumbles come up. A running back trying to do too much and waving the ball around, or trying to avoid tackles instead of going forward, running north-south rather than east-west. The offense has clicked when they went with the short passes and the attack on the outside because of their speed. And they stick with it, they're going to be okay. So we still have 12 minutes to go. They're in the middle of a successful drive. Referees didn't have to travel very far on this change of possession, or change of direction, I should say. And hopefully, this allows them to put a drive together, or Hemet can say, never more.
Hemet Bulldogs and their defense trying to stand up on 2nd and 9. 14-point lead for Hemet. Snap to Medina, spins the ball once, steps up in the pocket, going to give it a heave down the far sideline, and there's nobody home on that pass attempt. Brings up 3rd and long for Vista del Lago, down by a pair of touchdowns. Well, tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Visit their new location off the 91 freeway at Arlington. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled.
Now, I think what happened there was Medina read it a little, he panicked a little bit. He's getting kind of some happy feet right now, and it's not because he's a bad quarterback. He's trying to make things happen that just aren't there. And he threw that ball out where nobody was going to get it, which isn't bad necessarily.
Here's the 3rd and 8 play. Medina rolling to his left. He is taken down out there, and it'll bring up a very long 4th down and a very interesting decision on deck here for the Ravens and Coach Michael Tuohy. And they are going to send the special teams out there, the punt team jogging on for Vista del Lago.
All right, now in this play, Salazar on the snap, he's got to show a little more urgency and get rid of the ball. He's got to catch it and let it fly. He just got too complacent that last time for that block. He got buried by 3 guys.
3 punts, 2 of them blocked for Vista del Lago. That one bounces to the punter, Salazar. Gets it away. He is hit. Good sell job, and it looks like they're going to get him. Roughing the kicker is most likely going to be the call here for Hemet. Salazar was hit a little bit late on yet another close call. Went to the ground, and now Vista del Lago is likely going to get what they want here.
For those of you at home who are aspiring football players, when you go in to block a punt, you never block it from straight ahead. You block it from an angle. And the Hemet players went straight at him. They didn't even attempt to take an angle. And they mowed him down because if he was lucky enough to get the ball off untouched, that's what happens. That's the result. A huge 1st down.
1st and 10 from the 39. Vista del Lago keeps the drive alive, and now they're into Hemet territory. with just 11 minutes left to erase a 14-point deficit. Vista del Lago. Barking out orders is Medina. Quick pass. It's a slant pass, and it's caught. That's exactly what we've been looking for from Medina all evening long, and I'm sure Michael Tui would agree. It's a pickup of 7 yards on first down.
And that's the kind of play you need to keep that Hemet front five honest. Because if they blitz that backer on that with the three middle guys, the three down linemen, that was where the seam was. Receiver sat in it. Good delivery from Medina. Good place to look for it.
It will be 2nd and 4, just a pickup of 6 on that play. Medina going to pass again. Room in the pocket. He airs it out. It's tipped, and it's off the gloves of Frankie Castillo, who almost had another interception for Hemet.
And Frankie Castillo has been involved in quite a few plays today on both sides of the ball.
3rd and short for Vista del Lago. Looking to the sideline for instruction with a 3rd and 4 coming up.
And as you watch this film upcoming for the Vista del Lago people, either tomorrow or Saturday, as we said, Medina's going to see his footwork. When he rushes the ball, he's throwing off his back foot. That ball sailed on him. And he did have a receiver there, but it's hard to deliver it when you're throwing off your back foot.
Here's the 3rd and 4. Medina calls for the snap, and it's a hard count. Got Hemet to jump, and it'll be another first down on penalties for Vista del Lago. Hemet essentially keeping Vista del Lago in the game at this point with their penalties. A chance for the Bulldogs really to put the Ravens away if they can just clean up the penalties.
Literally, of the 4 first downs on this drive, 3 of them were from Hemet penalties. That's statistically.
1st and 10. They spot the ball down at the 28. Medina with a back to his right. 3 receivers also out that way. To the far side of the field, they're going to go screen. Quick pass, quick tackle on the pass to Gonzalez. And how about Frankie Castillo calling his name again as he read that one all the way. It is a loss of 3 yards on the play, 2nd and 13.
I can't help but think that play might be one that's designed for Goss Jenkins, that for him to catch and use his missability to get up the field, where not that these players are not as good as him, but he's got that electricity to him. He's got those fast feet. And the play designed for him might not work for somebody else.
2nd and 13 from the 31. Medina rolling to the wide side of the field to his left, and that one is broken up on a pass intended for a receiver to the left side. That was a short pass anyway. And 2nd and 13 turns 3rd and 13 for Vista del Lago.
What I would love to see Vista del Lago do would be run a counter, run something away from the grain, or a cutback, something in that direction, because right now Hemet's pinning their ears back and just driving right after Medina.
Here comes the 3rd and 13. Big play for Vista del Lago. Just 9.5 minutes to work with. They trail by 2 touchdowns. Medina floats one down the middle, and it's caught. Touchdown, Ravens. Micah Hayes on the receiving end of a dart.
Great throw from Medina. He took his time. He looked off the receiver. Hemet got caught in a 2-deep coverage. Hayes ran right up the seam, blew right past the safety. Great delivery, as you say, he threw a dart. Now the Bulldogs have the tails between their legs.
VDL right back in it. Salazar on for the extra point. 8-point lead for Hemet. Trying to make it a 7-point one. Salazar, the operation is clean. The kick on the way, it is good. And it's 28-21. Vista del Lago not done yet.
This drive started, Vista del Lago took over with 2:55 in the 3rd quarter still left. So 3 minutes, a 7-minute drive. Close to 7-minute drive for Vista del Lago. By far the best drive of the day, but as we said earlier, 3 penalties from Hemet aided them in this drive.
So Salazar will kick it away with the Ravens down by 7. 9:32 on the clock. Fourth quarter action from Vista Del Lago High School. That's Tim Hatch. I'm Cullen Holt. And this is the Inland Sports YouTube channel.
Now, Hemet needs to have a sustained drive. They've not sustained a drive for a while now. Vista Lago's defense has forced them into 2 negative drives back-to-back.
Salazar boots this one away. It's another deep kick. It's going to go into the end zone, and Hemet will start at the 20.
So I'm going to come back to that theme of the day for Vista Del Lago, resiliency. They had their backs to the wall. They've had a bunch of things happen in a bad way. They've had block punts. They've had muff punts. They've had all kinds of things go on. But here they are, within a touchdown. 9.5 minutes to go, bottom line.
28-21, Hemet on top. First and 10. Spotted at the 20. Here comes Graves and the Bulldog offense. Handoff, near side, all kinds of running room. Up the near sideline, here comes Bradley Fye, stays in bounds, and is finally brought down after a big pickup on first down. Fye goes all the way to the Ravens' 30-yard line. They'll spot it back at the 32. And for the first time tonight, we call Bradley Fye's name. A defensive stud last year for Hemet, had 4 interceptions. Shows he can run the ball a little bit as well.
Showed he could fly like a raven, too.
First and 10 from the 32, and now a flag thrown. Could be too many men on the field here, and it is. Hemet has 12 out there. And I read the rule book a long time ago, but I believe you should only have 11 for most plays.
Yeah, but when the Bears had Refrigerator Perry, it looked like they had 12 guys on the field back in those days.
Weight-wise, they did.
When he got on the scale, it said 1 at a time, please.
First and 15. Graves hands it off. There's an early flag. False start, and Hemet now on the offensive side, starting to be hurt by penalties. This will be first and 20 from back at the 42 now. Got to get all the way down to the 22 for a first down. The clock running, though, down to 9 minutes to play.
Coach Gregovich has to be pulling his hair out right now because that was a great play, a momentum changer. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage. 5 flies out of there, goes 50 yards up the field. Now they go penalty.
First and 20. The snap gets away from Graves. He's going to scoop it up and try to make something out of it. Ends up going further back. Tackled way in the backfield. Ryan Lawton. And if I've ever seen a country mile, this is it.
This might be a whole country. Forget the mile.
Just a flat-out country.
Exactly. A small one at that. Maybe a country like Djibouti.
38 yards to the first down marker, Tim.
First and 38? Oh, second and 38.
Lose it down on the muff snap.
So I can't help but feeling that Hemet got a little complacent. You know, with that 28-14 lead. And maybe they got a little complacent. Maybe they felt that, the game was in hand because Vista Lago had seemed kind of to be kind of a lull, chin to the chest kind of mode. And then all of a sudden, bam, here we go. Penalty, loss of focus. That's 5 penalties and a bad snap in the last 6 plays.
Second and 38.
Correction, 3 in the last 4 plays.
Hatch statistics.
I had to count with my toes.
Quick snap. Graves going to keep it himself. Graves off and running. Graves going to get the first down and more. 10, 5, touchdown, Jeremiah Graves.
Forget everything I said. They'd planned that all along. A 60-yard run. Graves for a TD.
Instruments up.
Instruments up. Here we go.
34-21 Hemet. Jeremiah Graves sees 2nd and 38 and says no problem. House call for Graves.
Wow. Graves is digging him deep.
8:07.
I've never seen anything like this momentum-wise. Just when you think that they're down, just like Vista Del Lago, they fought back. Resiliency again. Now we look at them. Penalty, bad snap, -15, 60-yard touchdown run. Turn it right around.
Aguilar on for the extra point. He is on the mark. Another line drive extra point for Aguilar. 35-21. Hemet answers the call. And now the Ravens down by a pair of touchdowns once again. The good news is there's plenty of time left. If you're Vista Del Lago, 8 minutes, 7 seconds to try to make up that deficit.
So, if you're on the Hemet sideline right now, you're saying no stupid penalties. You got to keep your discipline. You got to keep your focus. Because you don't want to aid them again in a touchdown drive. This is the Lago side. Okay, we did it. We scored. Here we go. Another drive. But with some urgency. Let's go. Let's see what we got.
So Aguilar will kick it away. Give Vista Del Lago another chance to cut in on this lead. It's a little pooch, skied to the 30. Fielded. Gonna run to the near sideline. Got a few blockers. Here comes Joshua Hill. Gets out to the 40, and Vista Del Lago will roll Julian Medina and company out to try to cut into this 14-point lead for Hemet.
So Medina and the offense need to stick to the game plan. They had a nice drive last time. Although it was aided, they still scored. You know, Hemet penalties aided it. They still, bottom line, he threw the touchdown pass, 31 yards, to Hayes, who he seemed to have developed some chemistry with. Micah Hayes.
1st and 10 from the 40. Medina from the near hash. Here comes the Raven offense. Medina fakes the screen. Now lobs it far sideline just off the fingertips of his intended receiver.
That was a very well-designed play, just a straight up route. Mike Hayes using his speed, got outside the corner, and actually had a little window that Medina did a nice job getting the ball into that little window, but just out of the reach of Hayes.
So 1st and 10. From the 40-yard line. Medina comes set. Looks to his left again. Now dumps it off underneath. That pass will be incomplete. 3rd and 10 on the way.
Number 17, Desta Walters, sitting back as a safety, waiting for this to happen. Just closed on a quick route. Medina did a nice job looking off the receiver, went to a secondary receiver, but Walters right there, no gain.
Ravens offense looking for answers on this drive. Down by a couple of touchdowns.
And we're probably in 4-down territory here with the 35-21 game.
3rd and 10 from the 40. They motion a man across towards the wide side of the field. That's to the left of Medina. He calls for the snap, throws a quick slant, caught, and immediately gobbled up after picking up about 7. Is the receiver. Now Hemet says they got the ball again, but the referee from that far sideline disagrees, saying the receiver was down first. So they went to Gonzalez on the slant. Going to mark the ball back at the 47. 4th and 3. Vista Del Lago, almost imperative that they go for it. Hard count on the way, you got to believe.
Hemet kind of playing a bend don't break defense, allowing plays in front of them to be completed. but then closing quickly on the tackles.
Clock running, 7:20 to play. Here's 4th and 3rd. Medina rolls to his left, lobs one, first down distance, slipping out of a tackle on the far sideline, out across the 40-yard line and into Hemet territory. There's the first down they needed as they move the chains. So a good pass complete by Julian Medina.
On the defensive side, if you're Hemet right now, you don't want to go for gambling plays. You don't want to fly out and try and get an interception. You want to keep everything in front of you. And the cornerback on that play kind of gambled, missed the tackle, and gave up a first down play.
So it looks like Jesus Lopez Rivera made the catch on that far side. Here's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Medina with a bunch set to the short side of the field. That's out to his left. Gonna look back to the one-on-one matchup, slings it to a vacant spot in the field. Terrence Simon was the closest receiver, and with 6:40 to play, it's 2nd and 10.
That play is very well defended by Hemet. You actually had a corner and both safeties out there reading that play and defending it.
So here comes 2nd and 10. Got to get a new football as that one bounced out of the stadium. 35-21 Hemet. See what Michael Toohey can dial up here. First and 10, Medina scoots to his left to avoid pressure. Down the sideline, contact as diving for it was Lopez Rivera. You saw the referee reach for his flag. Instead, he decides not to.
What happened out there, you had the corner had to play very walled off, so the receiver was behind him, and he turned to look at the ball, and the ball went over his head and just slightly overthrown. Well placed, a game of inches.
3rd and 10 for Vista Del Lago, trying to get it done in the air. Have had a few close calls, looking to connect on a big one here. 6:30 to play. 3rd and 10 from the 38.
I'd like to see him run a slant or something underneath here. Oh.
Mishandled snap. Medina has to fall on it immediately. Backs him up to the 43-yard line, it appears. Put him at the 44. And there, it will be 4th and 15.
And that's kind of a play we were talking about, somebody trying to make things happen too much. The snap was catchable. It was right there, but he kind of rushed things to try whatever the play was going to be. And instead of catching it and then letting the play develop, he got too much of a hurry with his hands.
Medina scrambling, flicks it underneath, finds his man Hector Gonzalez, and he will be dragged down from behind, well short of the first down distance. And Hemet will have under 6 minutes to kill.
Well, if you're Vista Lago's offense, you can't get your head down right now. There's still 6 minutes to go. And with some of the plays that Vista Lago's defense has been making, you might get the ball right back, like now. So you don't have time to dwell on things. Meet with your position coaches, look at the video, talk to them, see what's going on, and be ready to bounce right back.
So the 4-minute offense comes into play for Hemet, or 6-minute offense, as the case may be. See what Jeremiah Graves can do now with a change of tempo. Empty to the near side. 3 receivers to the far side. Ball on the near hash. Graves going to keep it himself. Still on his feet. Loses a couple of yards. Running east to west. Laterally parallel to the line of scrimmage. We'll bring up 2nd and 12.
I think that was a busted play because he looked to hand that off and the back was gone already. Now, if you're a quarterback and that happens, you look around and go, crap. You just take off. Try to make something positive happen out of it.
Now they'll call holding on Hemet. It moves him back even further. They're going to walk the ball all the way down to the 24-yard line.
This is first down, second down, and half a country mile. Oh,
Here
still first down.
comes 1st and 21.
Half a country mile.
Quick handoff. Barrel rolling up the middle for a couple of yards. Looks like Antonio Stanislaw. So 2nd and 20. So they flick it on the screen. Graves finds his man. A pickup of a small handful of yards out towards the 30-yard line for Hemet. Makes it 3rd and 16 from the 29.
Now, if you're Hemet here, you want to hold tight to the ball. The ball's got to be precious to you. 2 hands, always 2 hands on the ball. You can't be waving it around if it's in your hands as a back or as a quarterback. No sacks. And if you do take a sack, go down quickly with the ball. Vista Lago going to be swinging for the ball, trying to pop it out of there, get hands on it, helmets on it, get a hat on the ball, something to pop it loose. And it's loose.
And the ball comes out for a moment. It's on the ground. Vista Del Lago says they have it. And they do. Ravens take over in a big, crucial situation. You called it, Tim. 35-21 Hemet. And the Ravens will have the ball at the Bulldog 28.
I'm playing the lottery tonight. I'm playing the lottery. Wow. Sorry, Hemet. I jinxed you.
1st and 10. It's all Tim Hatch's fault. Definitely not on the exchange between Graves and his running back.
And this is why, as a young team, you can't get down. Drive stalled. They punted the ball away, whatever. They didn't get it on downs because the ball's coming right. Confidence in your defense.
1st and 10. Medina going to air it out off the turnover. He's got a man in the end zone, and it is off the fingertips of his intended target. Trying to go to Micah Hayes. That could have been 6. Instead, it's 2nd down.
That was a very well-placed ball. Maybe put a tad more air under it, but the receiver cleared. He split the safeties. He was out there. Well-designed play by Coach Toohey.
2nd and 10 from the 28. VDL going to work. 4:03 to play. Down 35-21.
But I like the way Medina's throwing right now. He's throwing with confidence. He's putting the ball in the right spots. Throwing it off that front foot.
Quick pass, lobbed towards the sideline and over the head of Hayes again.
And I jinxed him. He threw it off his back foot. The ball sailed on him. The feet had just relaxed. Deep breath, make the throw, step into it. He had the receiver.
3rd and 10 from the 28. This is where Medina can show a lot of poise beyond his years in a big situation for Vista Del Lago. Both quarterbacks are junior quarterbacks. Got to play like seniors to be successful. Medina feeling the pressure, lobs one in the direction of the far sideline. He cannot complete it, and it's 4th and 10.
That would have been a tough pass to complete because Hemet's safety had rolled over there, and he was ready to make a play. Bradley Fye, who just made that great run on offense, made a great read. I think what's starting to happen, too, is Medina's starting to lock in on one receiver. He's got to keep moving, keep his eyes moving, got to look guys off. But he's playing with some confidence right now. It's nice to see.
3:55 to play. 4th and 10. Medina. One last hope for Vista Del Lago. He almost escapes the tackler, but instead, Austin Albers comes up with a sack for Hemet and flips the ball back to the team in white. Hold on a second. That's Jonah Ventura with the sack for Hemet. And the Bulldog defense comes up with a big play in a big moment.
So despite the penalties, despite the things, the mistakes they made mentally throughout the game, bottom line, Hemet's defense came up with big plays where they had to do it.
1st and 10 from their own 39. Hemet will have 3 minutes and 50 seconds of clock to try to extinguish here. In the waning moments of the 4th quarter, Vista Del Lago's defense going to need a big stand.
See if I can do it again. Right now, you got to run tight with the ball. It's got to stay tucked in and precious.
Hand it off here to Rodriguez. Tries to bounce it outside. Still on his feet, still running. Out to about the 45-yard line. Good first down pickup for the Hemet offense. And this is where you'll probably see that sniffer offense, as Coach Gregovich likes to call it.
And everything's got to go north-south right now. As a running back, you can't turn your shoulders east-west. That's what exposes the ball as they go east-west, and the ball can get punched out. As they're going forward, they can tuck and use their body to shield it from those prying arms and claws of the Ravens.
2nd and 4. From the 45-yard line. Bulldogs ready. Graves hands it off. Rodriguez has stood up in the backfield and brought down for a loss.
And the best thing he could have done there was go down. And that's, again, where mistakes happen. Guys try to make plays happen. He was heading east-west. He got closed in on by a whole flock of Ravens.
Brings up 3rd and 10. Back to the 39-yard line we go. A loss of 6 for Hemet. Got to make sure the down marker is in the correct spot. .2:16 on the clock. If nothing else, Hemet has wasted some precious seconds, giving Vista del Lago less time to work with, even if they do get the ball back. And now Hemet will call time.
I believe that chain gang member was that quarterback from Slippery Rock State, who was the 5th runner-up Heisman back in 1984.
From the 39. Fun facts with Tim Hatch.
So you're in the huddle with Vista del Lago right now. You tell your guys, you don't give up. You play to that last tick of the clock. And we're still trying to cause a fumble. We still want to cause a turnover. We want to get that turnover on downs. And you got to keep coaching them up at this point. Now, again, you're Hemet. Protect the ball. No stupid penalties. Can I say stupid on the air?
You can.
I think I just did.
It's too late now if you couldn't, but you can. 35-21. Hemet on top, trying to waste time here. This is 3rd and 10 from the 39-yard line, their own 39. They're going to throw the ball. Looking for Adams Jr., trying to go over the shoulder, made a last-second adjustment, could not come up with it, and now the clock stops on a 3rd down play. So with 2:03 left, you're essentially gifting the Ravens with 20, 25 extra seconds to work with.
I have to think that Coach Gregovich was, again, trying to get Adams involved. They've targeted him several times, blatantly trying to get him the ball, maybe build some confidence with him. And they feel with a 14-point lead, they get this punt off, that they're going to be confidence in the defense to stop this del Lago.
So the punter, Garrett Arnold, with the rugby punt. Nobody back deep for Vista del Lago. This one will take a Hemet roll down to the 25-yard line. And the Ravens with a 14-point deficit and a minute 55 to try to erase it.
So Vista del Lago have to stay on the attack. They've got to make things happen. They've got to be quickly in and out of the huddle. You don't have time to drag your butt, and you got to try and score, again, as quick as possible. And on the sideline, you guys have to stay awake. They got to stay alive. They got to stay with this, and that spirit and that momentum stays with them.
From the far hash, 1st and 10. Medina with time, looking for options. Now rolls a bit. Now he's in trouble, and now he's brought down near the 20-yard line. He had all kinds of time. Brought down inbounds. The clock runs down to 1:45 and counting.
And we're going to lean on that crutch of the fact an inexperienced quarterback. He could have tucked it, ran 10 yards, and got out of bounds and stopped the clock. Not faulting him, just something he'll learn as he gets older and more experienced.
Desperation heave, far sideline out of the reach of the receiver, Lopez Rivera.
What I'd like to see him do is hit the receivers on slants and let him get some running room in rather than airing it out over the top. Because right now, Phi is just playing free safety and just watching his eyes and just reading where he's going as Hemet goes too deep and keeping everything in front of him.
3rd and 15 from the 21. 1:25 on the clock. 14-point lead for Hemet. Vista Del Lago trying to come roaring back. Here's another bomb, this time near side. Hayes, in a battle for it, rips it away from the defender, Frankie Castillo. They're going to spot it near the 40. Clock still running, though.
Or they can throw it over the top like they have been and let Hayes go get it.
Now there's a Hemet player down, which benefits Vista Del Lago as the clock stops, not only to move the chains, but also for this injury. And now Coach Tui will get a chance to chat with his guys. Down 14 with 1:18 to play.
I believe what happened, that's Phi down right now. I believe that Castillo ran across him, and they collided as Castillo was going for the ball with Hayes. So the three of them met there at the point of reception, and Castillo's the one that hit Hayes, or I'm sorry, Phi. I don't know what happened to him. And as with both teams, both losing players for this game that are very good players. Goss Jenkins, let's hope it's a speedy recovery, and they're back in time for league.
Well, that's the thing. This is when all's said and done, just an opportunity to continue to get ready for league play.
Yeah.
I mean, these games, every one of them is important. But if you run through your league, you're in the playoffs.
I'm thinking cramp there, the way he's moving off the field. So hopefully best of news, best of luck to Phi, that it is just a cramp. I had such a bad cramp last night, by the way. My wife had to peel me off the ceiling.
With a spatula?
Absolutely. A sledgehammer.
Don't forget to call Stan the Policy Man Hopkins.
I will for life insurance with my wife doing that to me.
Home, auto, business, workers' comp, restaurants.
He does life.
He does it all. Medina. Desperation mode for Vista Del Lago. That one is intercepted. Picked off by Trevin Sims at the 10. He's going to try to run it back. And that is actually Garrett Arnold with the interception, his second of the day. Gets it back to the 30-yard line, and Hemet can essentially put an exclamation point on this game. Wrap it up and tie it with a nice little bow.
A desperation heave, two deep safeties. Safety's reading his eyes the whole way. Unfortunately, he put it right into that slot, that window that wasn't there. Again, hopefully looking for something underneath. But missing Goss Jenkins had to hurt as far as options and things that they would be looking for. And with a minute to go, still a ball game, but you never know. But I want to point out on the Vista Lago side, love the way they bounced back. Every time something happened, they came back fighting. They didn't give up. They didn't hang their hats. They bounced back with some fire and some verve and vigor. In the old days, we'd say they had some sand, and they played with sand today.
So Hemet just going to take a knee. Let the clock run out on this one. Inside of a minute, got to snap it one, maybe two more times. But a big win for the Hemet Bulldogs. They will go to 1-1, bouncing back from a loss to Chaparral.
And Hemet with Graves looking good. If you're a fan of the old TV show, Peter Graves' Mission Impossible, this Graves makes every mission possible.
Well, here's the question for you, Tim. Do you know the name of Peter Graves' brother?
No.
Well, it'd be James Arness from Gunsmoke.
Really? Was it really?
Absolutely.
James Arness was also the Thing in the first original Thing movie. Did you know that?
He was also missing part of his foot.
So he was footloose?
And fancy free. Hemet takes the final snap, nails it down, and the clock will run down to 0. Good effort from Vista Del Lago. Hemet comes out on top, 35-21, a comeback victory of sorts for the Bulldogs. They bounce back. They will now turn their attention to a home matchup against Banning as Vista del Lago will host Canyon Springs next week. Final score from this one, 35-21. Hemet comes out on top. Got to thank our sponsors, of course, that make this all happen. Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. You can visit their new location off the 91 freeway at Arlington. You can spoil yourself and your car. It's spoiled. Ken Sporting Goods in Norco, serving the Inland Empire since 1976. Visit Ken Sporting Goods for your team uniforms and all your sports gear, including what I'm going to be investing in, some sports goggles, in case there are moths at any of our future locations. Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports can go to Boost Performance Training and ask about their private lessons. Mike's Fitness Equipment in Riverside. You can visit their new location off 115 West Lacadena Drive. Get all of the leaders in gym equipment for your home, school, or work at Mike's Fitness Equipment. JoJo's Gorilla Dog in Redlands. Not all dogs are created equal. You can taste the difference at JoJo's Gorilla Dog in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center. Well, tomorrow night at 11 p.m., IEMG on the Inland Empire Media Group's YouTube channel. Sports Weekly Live, recapping all the best games from this week, including this one between Vista del Lago and Hemet. For myself, I'm Cullen Holt. That's Tim Hatch. Of course, a big thank you to Stan the Policy Man Hopkins with Loomis Insurance. Don't forget to give him a call or shoot him an email, 951-880-8998, or dhopkins at Loomis4insurance.com. That's Loomis, the number 4, insurance.com. We'll talk to you next week. Tim Hatch, Cullen Holtz, Inland Sports on the YouTube channel. It's Inland Sports Internet Radio. We'll talk to you next time.